Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jila Prabhupada. हरे नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So today we are reading the book Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 31. Okay, 1.3.31. If you have Gita base or Veda base, you can open. Yata nabasi me gaugo. 1.3.31. Otherwise, if you just hear, you can follow. Simple, not a big, complicated words. Very simple words. Yata nabasi me gaugo. Renurva parthivo nile. एवं द्रष्टरि दृश्यत्वम् आरोपितमबुद्धिभिः यथा नभसि मे गौगो रेणुर्वा पार्थिवो निले एवं द्रष्टरि दृश्यत्वम् आरोपितमबुद्धिभिः. Any Prabhus want to recite? Okay.
यथा नभसि मेघौघो रेणुर्वा पार्थिवो निले एवं द्रष्टरि द्रष्टव्यम् आरोपितम् अबुद्धिभिः.
Okay, Mataji can recite. यथा नभसि मेघो
वेणुर्वा पार्थिवो निले एवं द्रष्टव्यम्
आरोपितमबुद्धिभिः. Okay, word to word translation. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yata, as it is, Nabasi, in the sky, Mega Ogaha, a mass of clouds, Renuhu, dust, Va, as well as Parthivaha, muddiness, Anile, in the air, Evam, thus, Drashtari, to the seer, Drishatvam, for the purpose of seeing, Aropitam, is implied, Abuddhibihi, by the less intelligent persons. Can you please hear attentively? Translation. Clouds and dust are carried by the air, but less intelligent persons say that the sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. Similarly, they also implant material bodily conceptions on the spirit self. Purport. It is further confirmed herein that with our material eyes and senses, we cannot see the Lord, who is all spirit. We cannot even detect the spiritual spark which exists within the material body of the living being. We look to the outward covering of the body or subtle mind of the living being, but we cannot see the spiritual spark within the body. So we have to accept the living being's presence by the presence of his gross body. Similarly, those who want to see the Lord with their present material eyes or with the material senses are advised to meditate on the gigantic external feature called the Virata Rupa. For instance, when a particular gentleman goes in his car, which can be seen very easily, we identify the car with the man within the car. When the president goes out in his particular car, we say there is the president. For the time being, we identify the car with the president. Similarly, less intelligent men who want to see God immediately without necessary qualification are shown first the gigantic material cosmos as the form of the Lord. Although the Lord is within and without, the clouds in the sky and the blue of the sky are better appreciated in this connection. Although the bluish tint of the sky and the sky itself are different, we conceive of the color of the sky as blue. But that is a general conception for the layman only. We will offer short prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharani विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone for the Sunday Love Feast Srimad Bhagavatam session. Shri Shri Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, thank you so much for this opportunity. So we have come to the program for Bhagavatam session. So, what is the purpose of it? So our ISKCON is like a school. When we go to a school or college, the purpose is to learn. So similarly, anyhow we came here, so let us be fully attentive. So one of the main distractions in this age is what? A mobile. So if possible, please keep your mobile aside, switch it off or keep it silent. Don't look at your WhatsApp. Otherwise, the purpose of your visit to today's session, with so much planning and taking effort to come right? So otherwise it will go in vain. So if possible, all of you sit straight. That way at least you will not feel sleepy. So today the theme of this topic is one special thing. It is told in a very interesting way. That is, it is stressing on the form of the Lord. Right? We are very fortunate. Srila Prabhupada grace. From the beginning only we focus on the form of the Lord. But we really don't focus. We come, we see, but we don't see. In second canto Bhagavad it comes Pashyan api na pashyati. We see but we don't see. So it's interesting how Bhagavatam is helping us to focus on the form of the Lord. I'll take you. So but remember the today entire theme, whatever they are telling, it is helping on the form of the Lord, but not directly. It is talking about universal form. So what is the point of attending Bhagavatam sessions? So how we should attend Bhagavatam session, right? That is what Bhagavatam itself is suggesting us how we should attend Bhagavatam session, how we should approach Bhagavatam. But what is the benefit we are also going to get, right? Pibanti ye Bhagavad Atmanam Satam Katamrutam Shravana Puteshu Samritam Punanti te Vishay Vidushitashayam Vrajanti Tacharana Saroru Hantikam. How we should approach Bhagavatam? Not simply here. Drink. What we should do? Drink. Pibanti. What we should drink? Pibanti ye Bhagavad Atmanam Satam Katamrutam. So what we should drink? Kata Amrut, the nectar. So basically devotional service is like nectar. So that discussions of the Lord is like a nectar. Elsewhere else it comes. Nivruttatashe upagiyamana bhavoshadi shrotra manobhirama. If you hear very carefully, attentively, forgetting all the external world, at least till the point of time. And one more thing, not sleep. Don't sleep in the class. If you can do like that, what will happen? Till the time you are hearing, what will happen? It is very pleasing to the mind and ear. That's why Sukadeva Goswami is telling drink. What? You should go on drink. If you have water bottle, also keep drinking so that you will not fall asleep. Drink. About whom? Bhagavad Katamrutam. About the Supreme Lord Krishna, his discussions. Okay, it's about his name, form, qualities, pastimes, his message. Bhagavad Pibantiye Bhagavad Atmanam Sapta. Who is this Bhagavan Krishna? Is he some stone or some matter? Who is he? Bhagavan is a Supreme Lord, but he has one special quality. What is that? Atmanam Satam. He is very, very dear to Satam. Satam means what? One who are on the path of Sat. Satam means one who is on the path of Sat. Who is on the path of Sat? Devotees are on the path of Sat. Sat means truth. Those who are on the path of truth, Krishna is dear to them. So that means what is that? Who will be dear to other person? A person only can be dear. Of course, now in this age, robot can be also dear, mobile can also be dear. But generally, a person is dear to other person. So for Krishna, devotees are very, very dear. Atmanam Satam. Pibantiye Bhagavat Atmanam Satam Katamrutam. Shravana Puteshu Samritam. What we should do? We should fill our ears. With what? With these discussions. With the discussions about the Lord. Generally, we discuss about so many things, right? So many things. Even while practicing devotional service also, we discuss so many things. Except one person. Who is that person? Except Krishna, everything else we discuss. Is it or not? Please observe. Let us observe ourselves. Instead of telling anyone.
Number 4266.
4266. 4266. Okay. Done? Okay. So we observe, let us observe our lives. So we are coming here for an important purpose. And we should also meditate after attending the session. What are we doing in our own personal lives while being within the temple or outside the temple? If we don't meditate, we'll never be able to understand, are we able to apply or not. So that's why in science there is a word called metacognition. What word? Metacognition. That means why thoughts are coming, what kind of thought. That means thinking about the thoughts. So similarly, after hearing Bhagavatam session, we should also think, what did I learn? How can I apply? Is there anything I can improve? All such things. So, Shravana Puteshu Samritam, we should fill our ears. Then what will happen if we do like that? Punantite Vishaya Vidushitasha. It's a very nice word used by Sukadeva Goswami. Vishaya Vidushita Ashayam. Ashayam means everyone understand. Like no, I am from Andhra only. So in Telugu also we use Ashayam. Means it's a goal. Vishaya Vidushita. Vidushita means what? In Hindi also we say Pradushit. Vidushita means what? Polluted. So, polluted aim of life. What is that polluted aim of life? Vishaya Vidushita Ashayam. Polluted aim of life is what? To enjoy this material world. Basically to enjoy sense gratification. So, everything trying for one purpose. For what? To enjoy. So I don't want to tell this here, but while coming to your center, because I came all the way from AECS layout, it took around 35 minutes because it's a Sunday. So I saw just on the left side, so I was thinking it's a red signal. I saw I have to stop my vehicle. So I saw immediately so I stopped myself there. What is that? I saw a butcher, like no slaughterhouse. They were killing fishes and goats. I think so. You see, we are coming here to discuss Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam is about love, and the preliminary principle is a mercy. So many people in this world, they are still mercilessly killing so many living entities. For what purpose? One purpose. For what is that purpose? To enjoy. So, if you hear about Krishna, what will happen? Vishaya Vidushitasham Punantite. That will be purified. If we hear very carefully with the respect, what will happen? That kind of unwanted desires will go away from heart. That is a great thing. That's a great thing. It's not an easy thing to transform a person's life. It is easy to do so many other things, but it is difficult to transform one person's heart. So maybe children can be taken outside, because children definitely will be restless. I have also a 4.5-year-old daughter, so I have gone through this phase. If children are restless, better take them outside. At least they will play, they'll get some fresh air. We cannot expect the children to sit and hear. These children are good. At least they can hear, right? All of you can hear. I'll ask some question. Okay, if you hear carefully, I'll ask some questions. Vishaya Vidushita Ashayam. Polluted aim of life. So how wonderfully Sukadeva Goswami used it. Then what else will happen? Actually, this is one important thing, that just by sitting in Bhagavatam sessions, all our unwanted desires will go away. But if you also put endeavor from our side, then what else will happen? Vrajanti Tacharana Saroruhantikam. Then we can also go back to the Krishna's abode. That's the one thing. So that's why we should not take sessions related to the Lord. Bhagavatam discussions, Bhagavad Gita discussions, any discussion about the Lord, and any discussions about the Lord, we should not take them casually. Anyhow, we have come all the way. Let us 1 hour, let us fully focus, and by that what will happen? Our heart will get purified. Then whatever we are discussing, we can retain that. Why we don't retain what we are hearing, especially related to the Krishna conscious subjects? Because heart is impure. So that is the reason. So that's why after the session, ask, what are the 2 points? Take home away for me today, which I am carrying to the home, which I can apply in my life. So it's called education. Education means what? You go to the school, learn, come home, do some homework. So similar thing. So now coming to this shloka. So that's why don't take the discussions little casually. Take it in a way that it can benefit us. Not only benefit us, benefit everyone. So now what this verse is talking, until now you have read all the incarnations of the Lord, around 24 incarnation. But now Sukadeva Goswami, actually not Sukadeva Goswami, Suta Goswami started telling about one more incarnation or one more feature of the Lord, or one more incarnation of the Lord, you can say, or one more thing of the Lord. It's called Virata Rupa, universal form. So what he is telling is, it is a very nice thing how he is using analogy. Why analogy is required? Because we cannot see anything beyond matter. Right? Can we see anything beyond matter? So all of us attended Gita course, all of us knew that I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. It is a theoretical information. But have I seen myself? Have I realized myself as an anti-matter? No. I have not yet realized, but we are in the process of realizing it. So now, that's why there are analogies given to help us understand. There are analogies given to help us understand what is the spiritual subjects. So now, to help us understand the form of the Lord, here two analogies are used. What? To help us understand the form of the Lord, here two analogies are given. What are the analogies? One is the cloud, sky. Other is dirt, air. With these two analogies, what Suta Goswami is trying to help us, how the form of the Lord looks like. You understood? Everyone has seen the cloud? Anyone child, you have seen cloud? You have seen cloud? Cloud. Everyone? In Bangalore, that may also be a challenge. We don't know, because everywhere it's a concrete jungle. No one comes out to see the sky. We don't know. That's why I'm asking. Cloud and sky. Everyone has seen the sky? Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm just asking because this is what I'm going to say that.
Yes.
Are you sure? You have seen the sky?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You have seen, right? Yes. You have to later answer again the same question. You have seen the cloud, you have seen the sky. So you have seen dirt, dust particles. Have you seen air?
No.
Sure?
Yes.
You have seen sky but not seen the air. Okay? Okay. So now what Suta Goswami is telling, just like just as the unintelligent people, what they do, when they see cloud, they see it's a sky. But the point is, sky is invisible. Sky is a space. What is space? Space can you see between the bones, or between the bricks, or between any of the cells? Similarly, the sky is everywhere. Space we cannot see. That's what I was saying. Have you seen the sky? No, but we see the clouds within the sky, and what do we see? Attribute clouds to be the sky. So similarly, we can see the dust particles, but can we see the air?
No.
No. But what a foolish people, unintelligent people say, dust particle attributed to the air. So what these two analogies? One is visible and other is invisible. What is invisible? Sky is invisible, but what is visible? Clouds. So then what a less intelligent person, they say cloud to the sky. So similarly dust particles to the air. So now whether you understand this analogy or not, but you please understand this, what is the essence of this verse. What Suta Goswami is telling, Krishna's form cannot be seen with these senses. Krishna's form cannot be seen with these senses. It's invisible to these senses. But the foolish people, they attribute material form. What is the material form of the Lord? This universe they attribute this universe as the form of the Lord. It is not the form of the Lord, but they attribute this universe as the form of the Lord. That is called the Virata Rupa. Virata Rupa we have learned in Bhagavad Gita also, in Bhagavatam also it comes. You understand? So, foolish people, they see this universe and they see this universe as the form of the Lord. This is what this verse is telling about the form, but we will discuss more. It is not yet concluded. But this is what the verse is telling. They see the they see the universe, they think this is the form of the Lord. So whether it is right or wrong, then we have to see. How many of you feel this is fine? This universe is the form of the Lord. Correct? How many of you say no? Okay. Why?
It's imaginary.
One by one. Huh? One, let's pray.
Universe, whatever we see in the universe, is the impersonal energy of the Lord.
Impersonal energy of the
Not
Lord,
the Lord Himself.
not the Lord Himself. Okay?
All matter, Prabhuji, but it's an imaginary form which is given by the impersonalist. They think that.
But this is a form, it is real. But why are we saying imaginary form?
Because of the temporary nature.
Temporary it is fine, it's not imaginary, right?
We can't see the God.
Huh?
We can't see the God.
We can't see the God.
That's why we see it in the form of universe.
Achha, okay. Because we are not able to see the form of the Lord, we think this is the. So now you got the topic, right? What Sutta Goswami is telling, he is not talking about the form of the Lord. So let us understand this in detail today. So, what kind of form of the Lord? What is the form of the Lord, or what kind of the form Lord has? So previously, so this is what I was asking. What I was asking is, this conception of the Virat universal form as appearing in the material world is imaginary. This world is not imaginary. This world is not, but what is imaginary? Taking this form of the Lord, taking this universe and considering this form as the form of the Lord is imaginary. That conception is imaginary. Cosmos, universe, what we are seeing is not imaginary, it is real, right? But having the wrong idea that this itself is the form of the Lord, that is a wrong idea. That's why it is imaginary form of the Lord. That's why Sutta Goswami, why he brought up this topic, because there are some people who meditate on the universal form of the Lord. So before coming to, or just I came in touch with ISKCON, so so immediately what I changed my wallpaper on my laptop was, that in Bhagavad Gita that picture comes, that universal Virat form where Krishna and all the heads are there, all the legs are there. So immediately I changed my screen to the universal form of the Lord. So immediately when we understand God means, oh, is a gigantic, very big, infinite. That conception immediately comes. But to come to the conception of Krishna as the supreme person, very sweet person, so those things that comes later. But generally, immediately the understanding is, oh, God means gigantic, infinite. Right? That's what universal form helps us to understand. So, but is this really the form? What does Bhagavad Gita say about the form of the Lord? What does Bhagavad Gita say about the form of the Lord?
Within the form.
Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavad Gita says? Do you know where it says about the form of the Lord? Chapter 12, what form, Mataji? Can you tell? Do you know? Even though you don't know the verse, you can tell the concept. Where does in Bhagavad Gita Krishna's form is described? Is there anything in the Bhagavad Gita discussion about the form of the Lord?
From what I recall, Prabhuji, Arjun asks Krishna that comes the best way of.
That is a best way of worship. Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paripasate echapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamana. The children knows till chapter. But it is not about the form of the Lord. Which is best? Is a comparison. Impersonal form worship versus personal form worship. But we are talking about, is there any way the form of the Lord discussion happened in Bhagavad Gita? What kind of form Lord has? If someone asks you question, you are worshipping Gandharvika Giridhari, you please tell me in Bhagavad Gita where is the form of the Lord described? What will you say?
Form is divine.
Form is divine. Where is
Janma karma chame divyam.
Janma Karma Chame Devyam? So where is the form there? It's only Janma and Karma.
At last 200
Yes.
form.
So this is one particular discussion in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, universal form. First, Arjuna sees the Virata Rupa and then 400 form and 200. They definitely the form of the Lord is described here. Anything else about the form of the Lord from Bhagavad Gita? What kind of? Chapter 10, that is again Virat Rupa. Chapter 10, basically, it is a precursor to the 11th chapter. 11th chapter is a demonstration of 10th chapter. Because Arjuna, oh Krishna, everyone can say whatever you are saying. I am the taste of water, I am this, that. Everyone can say. Where is the proof? That's where Krishna started showing the 11th chapter. In the 11th chapter, see, as such in battlefield there is no chapters. Please to understand. Later Vyasadeva has designed them like that. So 11th chapter is a practical proof of 10th chapter. Okay, this is a very nice verse. You can think if you want to remember. Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram Anoraniyam Anusmaredham Sarvasya Dadaram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasapparastat. In this one word is used. What is that? Achintya Rupam. What kind of form Krishna has? Achintya, inconceivable form. So in the translation, what Prabhupada uses, if you see, so that's what I have brought this chapter also. This is from, I think not from this. This is 8th chapter, 9th verse. So what Prabhupada writes there is, he is a transcendental beyond his material nature and inconceivable. So two words, Achintya Rupa and then Divya. So what kind of form Krishna has? Transcendental form. So definitely from this one word, what can we understand? Whether this universal form can be the form of the Lord? This cosmos is the form of the Lord? Why? It is not transcendental, it is matter. Transcendental means what? Transcend. So it is beyond the matter. And inconceivable. Inconceivable means what? Achintya. In Sanskrit we call achintya means beyond the thinking power. So but this matter, what we are seeing is within the jurisdiction of our thinking power. But what in Bhagavad Gita Krishna himself said, this form of the Lord is beyond the jurisdiction of thinking power. You may say, I am seeing the form of the Lord. Is it beyond the jurisdiction of my thinking power? Yes. If you read 10th canto, you will understand what is the form of the Lord. Mother Yashoda tried to bind the Lord, but she could not bind. It appears conceivable, but it is inconceivable. So 10th canto, a lot of passions are there like that. So two things. So form of the Lord is transcendental, that means divine, beyond matter. That's why this universe cannot be the form of the Lord. So it is nullified. Second thing is inconceivable, achintya. Even though we may see, it is beyond our thinking power. Does it mean we cannot understand? No. Achintya means it's not you cannot understand, but understanding through senses will be partial. What? Understanding through our senses will be partial. So with this simple concept we can understand this cosmos cannot be the form of the Lord, right? So then what this form is made up of? Someone said, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakar. So this is made up of, his form is made up of Sat Chit Ananda. What this matter is made up of? Asat, Achit, Nirananda. See this body, it appears eternal, but it is not eternal. But after some time this is going to be, anything in this material body is going to be what? Perish. Asat. Sat means eternal, Asat means temporary. It's temporary. Achit, Chit. Krishna's form is Chit, full of knowledge. This body is full of ignorance. So how many of you remember the previous Bhagavatam session? May not be. Right? Yesterday at this time what we did? No. This body by nature itself we tend to forget. Nirananda. This body, how much ever we try for happiness, this is only give what? Misery. But on the other hand, Krishna's form is full of pleasure. Have you seen any time Krishna crying? Any time have you seen Krishna crying?
सीरियल्स में तो देखते हैं।
Serials?
जब अभिमन्यु चले जाते हैं
Acha, acha, okay. But Lord Rama crying, have you seen? Huh. No, no, Lord also cries, but not cries for a misery. When he separates from his devotee, he feels that separation. That is called Vipralamba. Otherwise, he don't have to cry. Lord doesn't cry. For us, for we in our life, we cry for every small things. Maybe devotees after coming to our programs, they may stop crying, but some still they cry. But otherwise, miseries will go away slowly by practicing Krishna consciousness. So, first thing, Krishna's form is transcendental, inconceivable. What it is made up of? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Our body is made up of Asat, Achit, Nirananda. So, two things. No? So, then, does he has only one form? We have only this form. Matter also, have you seen matter exists in multiple forms? Say one thing in one form. But Krishna has how many forms? Multiple forms, unlimited forms. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Ananta Rupam. How many forms? Krishna has unlimited forms. We are now going to celebrate Narsimha Chaturthi. Same Krishna appeared as Lord Narsimha. Unlimited forms. Right? So, then is that the form restricted by space or time? Restricted by space or time? No. Krishna's form is not restricted by space. Why? At the same time, he simultaneously can be present in all the objects. Like Krishna is a Paramatma, he is present in everyone's heart and also in every atom. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So in short, Krishna's form is not related with matter, it is inconceivable, it is divine, it is beyond space, multiple forms and made of Sat Chit Ananda. So with these small things we can understand this cosmos cannot be the form of the Lord. So then why the point is why this cosmos is considered as the form of the Lord. So that's why Suta Goswami is telling it is imaginary idea. It is not actual idea, it is a imaginary idea. So if it is an imaginary idea, then why it is mentioned in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? Is there any use of it? If it is, we want some realistic ideas. If it is an imaginary idea, why it is stressed so much? So in front of me I have a 10th canto of Bhagavatam, sorry, 2nd canto of Bhagavatam. In 2nd canto that universal form description is there. So then what is the use of this universal form of the Lord? And it is mentioned as imaginary. So does Sukadeva Goswami, Suta Goswami, they want to take some imagination world or we want to be realistic? So what do you say?
Maybe probably because impersonalists don't even believe in form. So gradually, in a way, if they think of this imaginary form, they will progress towards the...
Yeah, this is a very nice thing. Yes, because you see what Mayavadis do? Mayavadis insult Krishna. What do they say? Ultimately God is Nirakar, God does not have form. What does it mean? God, Krishna, God does not have hands. That means he is handless person. God doesn't have legs. That means he is a lame person. God does not have eyes. He is a blind person. God does not have ears. He is a dumb person. God does not have tongue. He doesn't know the taste. So you see, it may appear that God is ultimately Nirakar, but what they are doing in the name of that? They are offending the God, telling that he is a dumb person, he is a lame person, he is a deaf person, he cannot taste anything, he is not a person. Ultimately they are insulting him. Is it or not? Like for example, maybe I am just taking example. Some of you may be very rich, let us say. But in front of everyone we have introduced, he is the most beggar, he is the most poorest in this Bangalore. He will feel, oh, what kind of introduction about me is this? So similarly Krishna is a person, but what Mayavadis do? They say God is not a person, all his limbs are not there. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mayavada Bhasha Shunile Hoi Sarvanash. If anyone hears the commentary of Mayavadis, our bhakti, this tender bhakti creeper will be destroyed. So we should be very careful in whom we are hearing. So now then what is this imaginary form of the Lord? Why it is stressed? Our Prabhu has mentioned, because people, everyone is trained from the beginning. Even I also used to understand, because I never read Bhagavad Gita until I came in touch with ISKCON. From everywhere this propaganda is there. God is Nirakar. What? God is Nirakar. And even I have seen some films also. Ultimately it appears like a devotional film, but ultimately they take to the point, God is formless. They may show the form in the beginning, but ultimately they show God is Nirakar. So because we have exposed to the show so much to the social media or the people around us, that idea that God is not a person is so much ingrained into our consciousness. That's why now Sutta Goswami, you can understand how much merciful he is, even for such people, to help us understand God has a form. That's why slowly they are introducing this form. What is this? Virata Rupa. The cosmos as the form of it is not a form of the Lord, it is an imaginary form of the Lord. But even though it is imagination, it is helping us to approach the form of the Lord. So it is like intermediate step. It helps us to approach the form of the Lord. So now, no, for devotees, then does the discussion. So now we already accepted the form, let us say, but most of us have that wrong idea within our consciousness. We may not be even aware, but let's say, let us externally we have accepted the form of the Lord. We come and worship, we offer bhoga, but in that case, the discussion about the Virata form of the Lord, universal form of the Lord, is it useless? So I am asking next question. So you understand my question? So now we understood, anyhow we have accepted the form of the Lord. This is helpful for those who cannot accept the form of the Lord, but this idea can help them to bring to the stage of accepting the form of the Lord. So now you may say, Prabhuji, I already accepted the form of the Lord. Then what is the point for me to discuss this Virata form? You got my question? What do you say then? Okay. You want to give chance to someone else? That already is done. So I am asking next question. For those who cannot accept the form of the Lord directly, this is like a intermediate step to take to the form of the Lord. But all these devotees who are here, they came, they attend there, already they may say that I have accepted the form of the Lord. Then what is the point for me to discuss this Virata form of the Lord? So shall I skip the second canto of Bhagavatam? Shall we approve that? Then what do you say? Yes, you can say no answer.
The point which is coming in my mind is that we have accepted, let's say, but as if we want to do Jeev Daya, then we should convince others to accept the form of the Lord.
Okay.
For that we need to discuss it.
Okay. Who is telling one point that, okay, let us say I have accepted, but for others, I have to help them, right? So, okay. Anything else? This is a good guess actually. It's a guess. I don't say answer, but it's a guess. Anyone else? Mataji, yes.
Impersonal is also God. God as a personal form is impersonal also, and he is as Paramatma also. So all three describe God.
So, but you must also have heard that Bhagavan realization will have both Paramatma and Brahman realization automatically. We don't have to separately think on that, right? Then what do you say? Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji, as neophytes, even if we do accept the form of the Lord, it is still very difficult for us to imagine the entire glory of the Lord. So whatever we can see around us, if we can somehow compare that to the Lord, we'll be able to conceive His glory.
Yeah. Yes. So, yes, Mataji also made a little very close guess. Yes, even though we have accepted the form of the Lord, I will tell the answer to this question, but I am just asking, how many of you know about the teeth of the Lord? Do you know Lord has a teeth? How many have accept Krishna has a teeth? You see, so many have not accepted only. So many have not accepted that Lord has a teeth. How many of you don't accept that Lord has teeth? Can you please raise your hand? I want to see. No, no one will raise. I know. But some of you have not raised your hand. What does that mean? Yes, even though we may appear to accept the form of the Lord, but we have not fully convinced. Then even if we say we are convinced, but what the form of the Lord looks like, we don't know. Right? But I will come to whether Lord has teeth or not, I will come later. So but what Bhagavatam is telling is, now you want to hear Bhagavatam answer for this question, why this, even though for devotees, it is required. You want to hear the answer? Okay. So, smartavyo satatam Vishnu vismartavyo na jatuchit sarve vidhi nishedasyo edayor eva kinkaraha. Means, all the rules and regulations, what do we follow? That means we follow everything in devotional service, devotional life, for one reason. What is that? To always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Even to attend Bhagavatam session, doing book distribution, taking prasadam, everything is meant for what? To always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So how many of you are able to do that? Or anytime we ask the question, how can I remember Krishna while staying in this material world? How do we remember Krishna while staying in the material world? By chanting. Are we able to remember the Lord? Our chanting is not helping us to remember the Lord now.
By relating everything that
Whenever we feel difficult, we remember the Lord. We remember the Lord so that He will remove our misery. But do we really remember the Lord? Yes, Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji, like by relating everything, like I am the taste of the water.
Yes. How do we remember the Lord while being in the material world? So can we see, while practicing Krishna consciousness, now can we disconnect from the material world? Is that the solution of Bhagavad Gita? Rather, Bhagavad Gita saying, Yukta Matpara. Bhagavad Gita is not suggesting us to not to interact with the material world. If that is the case, most of us would not have come. Bhagavad Gita is not even encouraging us. Krishna is not even encouraging us to disconnect from the material world and go and stay in a secluded place. No. So that means we can, while staying in the material world, we have to be Krishna conscious. While staying in the material world, we have to remember the Lord. So how is that possible? With the help of universal form. So rather, universal form, the Virat conception, this universe is real. Idea of attributing this universe as the form of the Lord, that is wrong. But what is real is, everything is connected with Krishna. What is the definition of Maya? What is the definition of Maya? That which is not. Okay, any other definition? Maya is illusion. Definition. External energy, inferior, that is also not the definition. So in the second canto it comes, Ritayartham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyad atmano bhaya yatha bhaso yatha. So what is Maya? When you see something disconnected from Krishna. I see most of you are not writing, you will forget later. When you see something disconnected from Krishna, that is called Maya. So now we are in the material world. How to remember Krishna always? By seeing everything in connection with Krishna. But how do we know what is connection of everything with Krishna? You may say plainly, everything is manifested from the material energy of the Lord. But it is only simple one statement. But we want to know more and more details. That is where second canto deals. So our Prabhu said, when you drinking the water, what all we can think about the water? Water, the taste of the water is Krishna. What else we can think?
Color, order.
Color, water is a color.
Any beautiful thing which is the beauty of that particular object is Krishna.
Only water I am just asking. Anything else we can know about the water?
प्यास बुझाते हैं, तृप्ति.
In relation with Krishna. In relation with Krishna. Actually, that also can be connected. Yes, Mataji.
Water comes from the rivers which are displayed as the veins of the.
Yes. So you are able to understand. So now, second canto of Bhagavatam, it is not useless concept. Even though it is an imaginary concept, but it has a very, very essential. It is important for us also, for devotees, to be connected with Krishna at every moment of our life. As soon as you step out, what do you see? Matter. We see the mountains. We see the trees. Trees are what? Hairs of Krishna. Sun, eye of Krishna. Moon, another eye of Krishna. Moon is also the mind. Water is the energy of the Lord. Water, you can also see. Water, rasa is also like water, liquid. It flows. So many ways we can connect with Krishna. That's why this Virata conception is especially important for all of us. Anything you see, let's say what in office what happens when you see a very intelligent person? Generally people become envious. So he's growing in the ladder. But a devotee, when he sees an intelligent person, what he will see? Krishna has given. Krishna has given the intelligence. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi. That's why it is good to learn some of the verses, because we can remember and we can connect. So a devotee, when he sees an intelligent person, what he will see? He won't become envious. What he will do? Rather, he will remember Krishna. That is the success of life. What is success of life? Growing in the ladder or remembering Krishna? But an ordinary person without this knowledge, what will happen to him? He will become envious. A devotee, he will not become envious. On the other hand, the test is, if a devotee is becoming envious by seeing opulences in this world, that means he is not remembering Krishna. So that is like, there is a curtain, but behind the curtain who is there? This is like that. So behind everything, what a devotee wants to see? The invisible hand of Krishna. That is what we have to do. Every moment, 24/7, what we are supposed to do, we have to remember the Lord. Whether you are seeing mobile, everything. This is a practice we need to do. It will not come automatically. For that we have to read Bhagavad Gita thoroughly. And whenever we are seeing, ask the question, how this is related to Krishna. Instead of thinking, how can I multiply my wealth? How can I ditch this person? How can I do this? Revenge? So many things. Why can't we think how this is connected to Krishna? That way, what will happen? Our mind will be constantly alert in remembrance of the Lord. What else is required? That's what at the end of the life, what is required? Ante Narayana Smriti. So even if you chant holy names, if chanting is not helping us to the stage of remembering the Lord, chanting is a not happening problem. That's why Kirtana Prabhave Smarana Hoibe. Even if you are chanting while class is going on, let us say, will that be helpful? Chanting while session is going on, will that be helpful? Rather, it is going to be a disturbance to you. Chanting should help us to go within, to see everything in connection with Krishna. Rather, what will happen? If we chant in the session, neither I am focusing in learning the concept, rather I am not able to go within also. So neither here nor there it is going to be a disturbance. Right? So that's why we have to be intelligent enough to understand what are we doing and why we are doing. If we do not understand what are we doing, we may do it as a ritual, and ritual will not take us to bhakti. That's why one of the offenses is what in the chanting of the holy names? No, with respect to ritual.
Considering chanting as an auspicious.
To consider chanting as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities. If we do without understanding, eventually it becomes a ritual, and ritual will not take us to progress in devotional service. Please do understand. Everything, if we understand and do, that will have a more impact in our devotional. And very quickly, What will happen? We'll be able to remember Krishna and we'll never forget Krishna. If this can happen, what will happen? Slowly our affection for the Lord will grow. That's what Bhagavatam says. Notpadayet ediratim Shremayevahi kevalam. Now utpadayet ediratim. If after doing everything, if our rati for the Lord doesn't grow, what will happen? It is a useless. That means even attending Bhagavatam session, even taking prasadam, even doing so much, it is ultimately Shremayevahi. Does it mean they are suggesting us to stop? No. Rather, they are suggesting us to do it in a proper way so that we will develop rati for the Lord. That is it. In a way, negatively they are telling. So don't waste time. Anyhow, you have come. Here, in such a way, render service in such a way that your affection for the Lord to grow. One may ask, if my affection for the Lord doesn't grow, what is the problem? What is the problem? Huh?
Punarapi Charanam, brother.
Nobody knows. Punarapi Maran. Anyone? Any other answer? Huh?
Probably they're not doing it attentively.
Huh?
And not getting, they're not doing it attentively.
Okay, they are not doing attentively. But I am saying, if one does not develop rati, affection for the Lord, what is the problem? Yes. Affection for Maya means affection for this material world will grow. Then you may say, what is the problem, Prabhuji? If I am getting affectionate to this world, what do you say? The point is, the more and more, that is the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. The more and more our affection for this body or anything related to the body grows, the more and more miserable life will be. Even though I may have everything at my disposal, but still affection for this material world will bring me close to the more and more miseries. And definitely it cannot help me to come out of Janma Mrityu, Jara Vyadhi. These are the big problems. Right? So that's why we have to do devotional service in a way that our affection for Lord Krishna to grow. But our affection can grow when we are also appreciating His name, His form, His qualities, His actions. Then only our affection will grow. Right? So that's why Sutta Goswami is helping us to understand that no, this universal form of the Lord is also very, very beneficial for us to help us to remember Krishna always. That's why don't neglect this form, because if we don't remember anything, then we cannot connect. When we see tree, when we see other human beings, it's a when a devotee sees other living entities, I was telling about the fish example. What do we remember? We see ultimately this living entity also belongs to Krishna. That is what everything should help us to remember Krishna. So similarly, when we interact with the devotees, that interaction should help us to remember Krishna. How can interaction can help us to remember Krishna? By discussing about the Lord. Yes, anything else? Huh? When we are interacting with the devotees. Yes, Kirtan definitely. Anything else? So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyamitam. So we have to speak in a way that we can remember Bhagavad Gita's instruction. That way, a devotee's life at every moment, he wants to remember the Lord. But is there any magic is going to happen? No, it is called Abhyasa. What is Abhyasa? We have to know this knowledge and we have to remember this and apply at every point of time by seeing everything. That's why who is called Uttama, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. Who is Uttamadhikari? Uttamadhikari is the one Jya Pashyet Sarva Bhuteshu Bhagavad Bhavam Atmana. He sees everything, but he's only remembering how wonderful it is. Then we won't become lusty. We won't become angry. We won't become envious. We don't become greedy. When a person sees something beautiful, what happens immediately? How can I enjoy? That is what in the society, all crimes, root cause is what? One wants to enjoy beautiful things and they don't know how to enjoy the beauty. Is it or not? So that's why someone may ask question, what people you are doing? What you devotees are doing? You are all parasites to the society. Someone may say like that. What we can say? Array, you see everything and you want to enjoy, and for enjoyment you exploit And you don't stop at exploiting, you want to kill the other person without being sensitive about the other person. So are you helping anything to the society, or you become a burden to the society? How wonderful. They become burden to the society, and society is in a chaotic condition. And they want to bring so many things now, artificial intelligence, this, that. For what reason? To give the sensual pleasure to the highest degree. But will that happen? No. But what is our answer? Yes, we are doing the best welfare service. How? Helping us to regulate their senses, helping us to see everything divine behind everything, and helping them to control their senses, helping them to not to exploit anyone, helping them not to exploit the material nature. How wonderful it is. Now you please tell, are you doing service to the society, or you are doing service to the society? What's our answer? So devotees are, that's why gopis sing, Tava katamritam tapta jivanam kavibirivitam kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadhantakam Bhuvi Bhuridajana Bhuvi Bhuridajana. So Bhagavatam, gopis are describing one of the preachers, or one who are, it doesn't have to be a preacher, anyone sharing this message of Krishna, they are called Bhuridajana. They are most magnanimous people. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So why they are called Bhuridajana? They are helping the people to regulate their senses, regulate their mind, to regulate, to go beyond the exploitation, and most importantly, to remember Lord, divine hand behind everything. Remember the Lord at the time of death, go back to home. In this life also their life is successful, and after the life also their life is successful. But one who is absorbed in materialism, their life is not successful now, and at the end of the life also it is not successful. So you see how they are wonderful. So these are the sages, these are the devotees who are described in Bhagavatam. They are the ones who are actually helping us. They are the ones who are actually doing welfare. So let us take advantage of these things. That's why we have to invite devotees, we have to discuss and then go on. So now, so far we could not discuss anything about the form of the Lord, only the philosophy behind the form of the Lord. But how does the form Lord looks like? In my childhood I had a question. Why Krishna is like this only? Who has told someone to put peacock feather on his head? Means any reason, something like that? I don't know. But after learning Bhagavatam I understood it's not some imaginary, at least this cosmos. Let us come back again to the basic thing. Cosmos is people, less intelligent people attribute this as the form of the Lord. But this is not the form of the Lord. But there is a form of the Lord. How does the form looks like? The form of the Lord looks like exactly like this, but not in this similar way, because it all depends on the painter. But the features of the Lord are described very, very nicely in our scripture. So it is not an imaginary form. This is not imaginary form. So now let us not bring that imagination here. This is not imaginary form of the Lord. This is a real form of the Lord. So is there any evidence? Barha Pidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibradvasa Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randran Venu Radara Sudayan Prurayan Goparandai Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti. So Barha Pido. Barha means what? So in the translation Prabhupada it's Barha means peacock feather. So Barha Pido. Krishna wears what? Peacock feather. Barha Pido Natavaravapu. He stands in a what posture? Tribhanga. It is like a dancing posture. So Natavaravapu, Karnayo, and he wears some earrings, Karnika, flowers. So Krishna likes what? Earrings, very natural flowers. That is a Karnika flowers he wears as a earrings. Maybe in this you may not see. Karnika, Barhapidau, Natavaravapu, Karnayo, Karnikaram, Vibradvasa, Kanaka Kapisham. What kind of clothes he wears? Kanaka Kapisham. Means golden yellow clothes. Vaijayantim Chamalam. Krishna wears Vaijayanti Mala. It is made up of five kinds of flowers. Vaijayantim Chamalam. And then what he will do? Randran Venu. So he holds a flute. Randran Venu Radara Sudayan Purayan Gopa Vrindai. So he fills the holes of the flute with his what? The nectar from his lips. So that's why gopis become envious. It's a transcendental envy. They say, "Arey, this flute is the only one person who is actually enjoying the nectar of the lips always. The flute is the one who is always with Krishna." That's why one time they steal the flute also. Why? Because he's always looting, means he's always stealing the nectar from the lips of. That is a little transcendental way. So, but they are saying, Randran Venu Radara Sudaya, Purayan Gopa Vrindai. So, like that, what Krishna does, Gopa Vrindai, along with the friends, he travels into the forest of Vrindavan. So, this is a form, we have a description, what kind of form he is, how he is. So, now I will come back to the question. So, now whether Krishna has a teeth or not. Now, you please tell me. Krishna has a teeth or not? Huh? Who said yes? Some of you already said yes. So how does the teeth of the Lord look like? So I think some of you have not accepted the idea itself that Lord has a teeth. Yes, that is called impersonal idea. I have a teeth, but God doesn't have teeth. I look so beautiful, but God looks very... You please imagine if any person without a teeth, how does he look like? Have you seen any person without teeth? How many of you seen a person without teeth? Can you raise your hand? Many have seen. That means whom you have seen? You must have seen your grandmother or someone, right? Small children also. But small children without teeth looks good only. They don't look ugly, right? But the grown-up elderly, they look ugly. Is it or not when they don't have a teeth? Like, no, the skin opens like, no. So you are saying, Krishna is like my grandmother. He is very ugly. That means those of you are saying God doesn't have teeth. You are saying same thing only. He looks like my grandmother. Is that the case? No. Krishna has a beautiful teeth. Our teeth is not so beautiful, deranged, and nowadays dentists are becoming so many because everyone wants to put that, what is that, braces, this, that, so that we want to keep our teeth in an organized way, whatever. But the point is that inherent quality is there. We should have a nice teeth, nice form, everything. But from where this kind of inclination is coming? This is from Krishna. Now, let us discuss about the teeth of Krishna. That is also from Bhagavatam. There is nothing we have to go anywhere else. Bhagavatam describes about the teeth of Krishna. So, how many of you noticed the teeth of Krishna is explained in Bhagavatam? No? Today we will discuss. Okay? Teeth of Krishna. So whenever now again in front of the Lord, when you see Krishna smiles, you know, Krishna smiles or not?
Yes.
So there are different kinds of smiles: hasita, prahasita, vihasita, vikasita, something like that in nectar of devotion. So Krishna smiles a bit, teeth won't be visible. He smiles little bit, only teeth, only 2 portion between is. But when Krishna smiles, full teeth will come out. So all such descriptions are there. That's why just give up discussions about this material world. Discussions about this person, this politics, that just give up. Just discuss about the Lord. We have to ask the question. Otherwise, if you don't ask question, how many of us asked the question that Lord has a teeth and how does the teeth of the Lord looks like? Right? If you don't ask the question, even if the verse is in front, it won't register in our mind. So that's why always we have to inquire. We have seen the form of the Lord every day, but do we feel anything for the Lord? Why? Because we do not even understand the details about the form of the Lord. Right? That's what. So that's why Sutta Goswami is helping us. Come on. You are still very at a low level, but the form of the Lord is there and it's a beautiful form. So without delay, I want to tell you about the teeth of the Lord. I was just alluring all of you from long time. How does the teeth of the Lord look like? Right? You want to hear? How many of you want to hear? Oh, everyone is interested to hear the teeth, about the teeth of the Lord. After hearing this, right? Whenever you see that fruit, whenever you see that, you will never forget only. Means if you at all you want to remember. If you don't want to remember, I can't do anything. But let us say. Dhyanāyanam prahasitam bahulādaroṣṭa bāsārunāyita tanudvijakunda paṅkti dhyaye svadeha kuhare vasitasya Vishnu bhaktyādrayārpitamana napratat drikshet. Okay? How does the teeth of the Lord look like? So first that Sukadeva Goswami is telling about the laughter, the smile of the Lord. How the laughter of the Lord is telling Dhyayana Ayana Prahasita. Prahasita means what? Laughter. The Lord, smile. Bahula, abundant, adhara oshta of his lips. So Prabhupada is writing, the laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. Right, in this material world, why people want to watch movies? And in the movies, if you see the description of introduction of hero or heroine, they will show the lips, they will show the eyes, they will show the nose, they will show the ears. But if you remove the curtain of the skin, what is there? Stool, blood, pus, urine. So even though they may show, but it is a illusory beauty. But here the form of the Lord is really beautiful. So now he's telling the laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, why this is discussed? Because when the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see his small teeth. How many of you seen the teeth of your children, and how many you had that? I remember when for the first time when I saw the teeth of my child, the first time 2 teeth only will come. First time when they smile and then open the teeth, it looks very, very beautiful. And for mother and father, it is a very interesting thing. So similarly for a devotee is what? His goal is to love Krishna. So why he wants to see the smile? Because when he sees the smile, of course, it's a smiling face is very wonderful. But when Krishna smiles, the devotee also sees the teeth of the Lord. How does the teeth look like? Now that's what the focus, the zoom. So now Sukadeva Goswami is zooming his camera. First he zoomed into the face of the Lord because he is meditating on the form of the Lord. But now later he zoomed to the lips. Why? Now Lord is smiling. But now he is zooming little in further. When Lord smiles, what is visible? One can see his small teeth. This is where I was coming to. Bhasharunāyita tanudvija kunda paṅkti. How does his teeth looks like? Tanu. Small. Have you seen anyone having a small teeth in adult? No one has a small teeth. But Krishna's teeth are how? They're small. How does the small teeth means any analogy for us to understand? No, he's telling. What kind of thing? Kunda paṅkti. Means what? Like a jasmine birds. So have you seen any time jasmine birds? Unfortunately, we don't grow ourselves jasmine birds. That's why we don't have that impact of jasmine birds. But if you see jasmine birds, like that, the teeth of Krishna are like a jasmine birds and they are small. They are not a very big in size. They are small but perfectly organized jasmine birds. So then what they are saying? It is not stopped there. That means teeth of the Krishna are white in color. What do you say? Teeth of Krishna are white in color? Are you sure? Are you sure? No, you are not sure. Let us hear from Sukadeva Goswami. We are not sure anyhow. Tanu dvija kunda paṅkti bhasha arunāyita. So now he is telling that the lips of Krishna, here because he is talking about this entire part. So now the lips of Krishna, how do they look like? They are actually what? Rosy. Like in this material world again, I think what I feel is the cosmetic industry also they have taken some inspiration from Krishna's form only. That's why somehow, the cosmetic industry they sell what? Lipstick. For what? So that Matajis or someone can wear what? Lips to be rosy color, but somehow some others also wear color. But what is the natural color of the lips of Krishna? Rosy. So now what is happening? That is a rosy color. So now the teeth. So now when light falls on the teeth, so the teeth are looking like pomegranate seeds. They are like jasmine buds, perfectly organized, small. It is not disorder is no. It's perfectly ordered like jasmine buds, but the rosy lips, that shadow is falling on the teeth, and the teeth are looking like what? Pomegranate seeds. So how does the teeth of the Lord look like? So whenever we see pomegranate, what we can remember? How wonderful it is. That's why everything in this world is for what purpose? To help us remember Krishna. Everything in this world is meant for helping us remember Krishna. Provided we want to remember Krishna. If you don't want to remember Krishna, everything in this material world will also help you to forget Krishna. How? When you see pomegranate, wonderful, so let me enjoy. Right? That's what will happen. Either remember Krishna or remember illusory energy and enjoy. Try to enjoy. So that's why what is the purpose of our attending discussion is ultimately we have to carry these in our heart, meditate, remember, and then think about that, and then always remember the Lord through these objects of this material world. But provided we have to give up watching mobile, provided we have to give up watching television, provided we have to give up watching Netflix. Because if we are attracted to mobile, television, Netflix, YouTube, even WhatsApp, whatever is required we have to do it. But unnecessarily if we are go on doing that, our mind cannot be focused in remembering these beautiful descriptions of the Lord. Because for this little bit conscious awareness is required. If we are inattentive, we cannot remember. So you must, how many of you read third canto? Only few read third canto. Then definitely you cannot even remember this. So you see, that means you have not read third canto. That is, there is so much to read and get to know the details of the form of the Lord, and then later keep that form of the Lord in our heart, and whenever we see the Lord, we also have to remember the form in the heart so that we will feel affection for the Lord. Otherwise, He's standing, we will not feel any connection, and then it all becomes what? A mechanical process, and ultimately devotional service, devotional life becomes boring. It is not become so enthusiastic, and every day we do it in a repetitive way. So you please decide how you want to approach the devotional service. You want to approach devotional service as some ritual, or approach devotional service in a way that we remember Lord always, never forget, always, never forget, and our affection for the Lord to grow Him always. And that is the perfection. If our affection for the Lord is growing day by day, our affection for the material world goes down. This is the test of devotional service. What is the test? Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagya Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. When our affection for the Lord grows, our interest in the material world, interest in enjoying this material world, interest in watching anything of this material world goes down. You please decide, what do you want to see? You want to see the Lord? You want to see something nasty in the YouTube? By doing that, our mind becomes more and more gets agitated. Right? Such a wonderful thing is given, so we just have to take it. With one last thing, I will conclude today's session that, so by seeing everything, gopis are remembering the Lord. By seeing the air, by seeing the water, by seeing a snake. We don't see snake, but here snakes can be visible. Vishajalapyaya vyala rakshasa varshamarutat vaidyutanalat vrishamayatmaja vishwato bhaya rishabhate vayam rakshitamuhu Rishabhate vayam rakshitamuhu. Vishajalapya. By seeing a poisonous snake, they are remembering what? They are remembering Lord Krishna, Kaliya pastime. By seeing wind, they are remembering Trinavarta pastime. By seeing water, rain, heavy rain, Indra's Govardhana pastime. For that we have to read Krishna book every day. If you don't know reading, we should read Krishna book every day so that they will be there in our memory, and when we see something we can remember the Lord. So in short, why Suta Goswami is mentioning about the Virata form of the Lord? First of all, these people, less intelligent people, attribute this universe as the form of the Lord, but that's an imaginary idea. Does that mean it is useless? No, because everything is connected with the Lord. Everything can be, when we see something while we interacting with the material world, that can be helpful in remembering the Lord. Like when you see the water, drinking the water, the taste of water is Krishna. When you see intelligence, you can remember the Lord. So we don't have to be after the opulences of this world, rather we have to be after Krishna. Just like curtain, if you open the curtain, whom will you see? Krishna. So that's what, we should not be attracted by the curtain itself, rather we should be attracted by the person behind the curtain. So in the form of the Lord is Sachidananda. He has multiple forms, and it's a divine form. It is beyond space, and the form of the Lord, how it looks like, we have understood. Also, through form of the Lord also, when we are trying to ask a question, how does the teeth of the Lord looks like? So I have only touched a topic, but today you can ask so many things. Arms of the Lord, forehead of the Lord, everything we have to ask and see how does he look like. When we know that, when we remember again and again, when we see the Lord, when we see his smiling face, we will remember his beautiful teeth, and we will only remember. By doing this, what will happen? We forget the attraction for the beauty of this world. Is it not a magic? By seeing like this, we forget the attraction for the beauty of this world, and everyone is after chasing after the beauty of this world. As I said, the beauty of this world is like what? If you remove that skin, everything is rubbish. But even after understanding that theoretically, that attraction won't go away until we develop attraction for the Lord. Okay? Hare Krishna. I am holding my discussion. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Yes, Mataji.
So one is that we always discuss that Krishna wears golden, yellow clothes. Then why we dress up our deities in all different kinds of
Different kinds of color, yeah. Krishna likes variety. And even though Krishna likes to wear that, we also wear him that